A lot of people that know me know that I had a pretty stellar reputation when I was a journalist,
Mm-hmm.
and I I kind of feel like all of that was really tainted in the last 4 years. So it was very painful for my family, hard for my kids to see me rolled up in a ball. Sorry, and bed many times, not being able to function. It was hard for my husband, but thank God I had them.
Still hear that emotion in your voice now, even
Yeah,
as you go back and
Yeah,
remember all this, right?
of course.
yeah. There's PTSD for sure,
Can
for
can
sure.
you
That's Sue Montgomery right there. She was on Montreal Now with Aaron and Natasha a few weeks back after we learned of the settlement that was reached between Sue Montgomery, her chief of staff as well at the time, and the city of Montreal. City being made to pay $130,000 to Sue Montgomery, $170,000 to her former chief of staff. This followed their expulsion from the party over a 2019 Human Resources report that accused Montgomery's chief of staff of harassment. Now the opposition at City Hall says that the city should make a public apology and that an independent inquiry should be made into the whole affair. Alan DeSousa from Ensemble Montreal, also the borough mayor in Saint-Laurent, joins us now. Hi, Alan.
Hi, Elias. Thanks for having me on.
So why are you coming to bat here for some? Sue Montgomery used to be in the other party. And I'll tell you, I listened to the interview that she did with Aaron and Natasha. Still says she still supports the ideals of Projet Montréal. Why are you coming to bat here for Sue and in the aftermath of all this?
Well, I don't think I view this as a partisan issue, and Sue Montgomery can support whichever party she wishes, and I think we live in a democracy, and that's okay. What really got me is the impact it had on two human beings, two people who chose to serve the public, in the case of Côte-des-Neiges, Notre-Dame-de-Grâce, one elected, one as a staffer, and who I feel were really hard done by these circumstances. I looked at it as an observer. I would not have wanted that to happen to me if the mayor had done the same type of thing. And I looked at it and followed closely what was happening. I wanted to give the chance to the different checks and balances to work itself out. It went to the Municipal Commission in Quebec. It went to court. And at every step of the way, the city lost, to the point that they're paying $300,000 plus legal fees out of taxpayers' money. And I thought that with now that everything done, the best way to really bring closure to this for Sue Montgomery and Annalisa Harris is to have a public apology. In public life, we can dig in our heels, we fight hard, we fight for our ideals, but when we are wrong, we also have to have the courage to say, I was wrong, I'm sorry.
Now, Alan, as part of that settlement, there was a statement that the city also issued. So not only were they forced to pay the $300,000 legal fees, they released a statement. They said on the record they should have better handled the situation, that it acted unreasonably by isolating Annalisa Harris, the chief of staff. And the city says the city recognizes that the human resource reports did not conclude that Miss Montgomery herself committed actions affecting the work climate within her borough. I mean, from top to, and you mentioned the legal process the whole way, from top to bottom, City of Montreal looks terrible here. The mayor looks terrible here. So why is more necessary? Why do we need public apology, inquiries, all that? It seems like how the legal system has handled this has given an incredible win for Sue Montgomery and Annalisa Harris.
Well, I don't look at it as a question of legalities. We're hiding behind weasel words and saying that, we recognize this. At no point in time is there anyone saying that, look, we were wrong, we were responsible, and we are sorry. And I guess if we're looking to save face, it's very easy and convenient to say, look, we recognize this law, or we recognize this judgment, and we admit that we shouldn't have done this. But at the end of the day, the hurt has happened. The damage has been done. The monies are being paid. The lawyers are being paid. Is it too much to ask? Is it too much to ask that for these two women who are in politics, and again, they're not members of my party, so it's not like I am trying to defend someone who's a member of Ensemble Montréal. Is it too much to ask to say that, look, we were wrong and we are sorry? I think after all the damage done, you must understand, neither of these two women are in public service. And there are impacts on their lives, on their emotional states, on their how they feel, how they're viewed on in the community, how people see them when they cross paths with them on the street. This is something that just will not go away. I think there's got to be a human way to bring closure to this, other than depending on legalese. And that's why I think, and that's why I called for the mayor to do the right thing. You can do things right, but you also have to do the right thing. And that's why I think the right thing to do at this stage in the game would to give a public apology to Sue Montgomery and Annalisa Harris.
With Alan DeSousa, wrapping up with Alan, of course, from Ensemble Montreal and the borough mayor of Saint-Laurent. Alan, do you feel this episode is an isolated incident, or do you feel it's indicative of maybe the mayor's leadership style and other decisions that have been made?
Well, I think that above and beyond the two people who are hurt most by this, we have to learn from this experience. We can't think it's an isolated event that happened and it won't happen again. And that's why I suggested in council, I asked in council that an independent party take a look at all the facts. The checks and balances in the system did not work. The Quebec Municipal Commission almost sidled up to the city until suggesting that they were of the same view as the city, as opposed to being an independent authority. There were reports done that were not read. Even Sue Montgomery had said if the mayor had taken the time to read the reports, it would not have happened. There are judgments came down, and the city still barreled on ahead and went and appealed and fought it in court. So it would appear to me that there were a severe breakdown of many checks and balances in the system, and we need to know what do we need to strengthen so it doesn't happen to another person. It doesn't happen to whether they be elected or be not elected. The people who paid the price for this are Sue Montgomery and Annalisa Harris. Neither were able to continue with their jobs. Neither were able to get reelected because their reputation was severely tarnished. And so to suggest that it wouldn't happen to another person, I'm sorry, I don't believe that. I think it could happen. And if we don't learn something from this experience, then we all have ourselves to blame when it comes about the next time.
Alan, thanks so much for coming on and sharing your thoughts on this one. I think there's quite a few people that agree with you that a full apology is in order. Thanks so much.
Please ask the mayor when next time she's on your show if she was willing to apologize personally.
That could be on the agenda, Alan. Take care.
Thank you.
That's Alan DeSousa from Ensemble Montreal and, of course, the borough mayor of Saint-Laurent.